Hey guys, Death Magic here, and bombshell news story coming out of the TCG world. TCG Player's main office in Syracuse is being completely shut down by eBay. Hey, remember that time they tried to unionize? I wonder if the two are related. But first, don't forget, big sale going on at Into the AM, link in the description. You get an additional 10% off, even clearance items with my code. I think they're down to like $6 a shirt in the clearance section. For like top quality fabric and ink, like I don't think I have one single shirt that wore out so far. Always appreciate you guys supporting the channel, but let's check out this story. So y'all know eBay acquired TCGplayer.com and, well, not just the website, the whole company in October 2022. At that time, the company employed 688 total employees, depending upon how you measure it. So they are now shutting down the Syracuse, New York office, cutting 220 jobs. I feel like some more were cut in between that time as well. So to paraphrase all of the corporate speak PR nonsense that eBay is spewing in response to this coming out into the press, hey, we already have our own authentication thing in Kentucky, so why do we have a separate one in New York? Comma, don't worry, this totally doesn't have anything to do with unions. Anyway, they voted to successfully unionize, and I think this was the one where they had to hold the vote twice and then they sued them or something because they said like they were trying to influence the vote or didn't tell people to vote, or I don't remember what it was. There was just some drama between whiny entitled liberals from New York whining about how they think they should have a 30-year job forever in card sorting and customer service, because that's how that works. And if you saw a picture of the members of the TCG Union-CWA marching in front of the TCG Player office back around July of 2023, by the way, when all this union drama was going on, yeah, that kind of looks like the type that would complain about not being entitled to some ridiculously inflated income because they live in the wrong city. When I think customer service and sorting and grading cards, I think 30-year career. It's exactly the same thing as welding cars in Detroit. I don't even see a difference. Okay, it's a skilled trade and it's kind of small. I get it. It's the type of thing you might want to unionize, but some of the statements made by them, it just all fell apart because they were just such whiny, entitled 20-year-old lefties. Just your typical, just gimme, I earned this. Wah, actually, socialism good. Well, fast forward not even 2 years, they shut down your office, so how'd that go? So they did actually successfully unionize. I don't really know how this is going to work. I guess you don't really have a union protection if they just literally fire everybody. But, I mean, there's 400 and some people left at the company, in theory, because, 688 were there and they cut 220. What does that leave? Unless they also laid off the customer support staff. I don't know. Because, would they transfer that to eBay, who has no idea what they're doing and they're all in India? Or would they leave the professionals who've been doing it for so long in the job? I know what I think they would do. Now, they're saying that this does not affect any remote staff that are based in Syracuse. So basically, if you already did your job behind a computer or on a phone, trying to solve all the little problems and answer grading questions and that kind of stuff, then you're fine. This doesn't affect you at all, and they're not laying you off. So that kind of does support not just hey, we bought them to shut them down because they're our competition. We're going to slowly merge them into eBay and make them go away. I think that with the amount they paid, first of all, and the brand recognition, yeah, you don't just light $300 million on fire, okay? But eBay does have their own authentication center, and I'm actually pretty sure it's in Kentucky. So they just hired and trained some people, probably paid a couple to transfer from New York to Kentucky, and who wouldn't? And now they're just why do we still have this? And if you've ever seen a picture of the inside of their office in Syracuse, it is inefficiency in building form. It's a 2-high ceiling, so there's, double the HVAC right there. They use retractable drop power for each desk, which I'm not even sure that's legal. And, well, it just makes perfect sense to set up in one of the most expensive, tax-heavy liberal shitholes in the entire country. And it just makes sense that if people are going to send you card collections from all across the country, that you should go as far to the east as possible, instead of, in the middle or closer to California that has the highest population. And since you could do the job anywhere, you should maybe move it to a place that's cheaper as far as rent, real estate prices, labor, cost of living, taxes. I think in the photo I saw, that was a non-commercial HP laptop, okay? Fundamentally, everything from the top to the bottom is wrong at that company. Like, dead wrong. If I was eBay, I would not have the policy of, oh, hands off, let's just let them do them. They've been doing this for a while. Let's not rock the boat. Oh, no. I'd be looking for a way to move that office. Now, think about it from eBay's perspective. They've got their authenticated and verified by eBay system. It's everything from, like, signatures to, like, sports memorabilia and all that. Oh, but if you have a TCG card, send it to New York instead of our main office. That's, like, actually confusing. To even code the website to work that way is confusing. What if you're like, oh, I've got 10 items and I want them all verified by eBay, so it could go to the eBay vault or whatever, their whole system. They got all these cutesy little names for it lately. Okay, I got to send it here. Oh, except my cards have to go here. That just, it doesn't make sense and it doesn't really work. Except you might be saying, oh, but the eBay stuff they could send to eBay, and then the TCGplayer.com stuff would go to TCG Player, obviously. And they don't just do authentication. It's not exactly the same work. But then go back to my initial assessment, which was, this place is nuts. It's in New York. It's too expensive. It's laid out like crap. And the people who work there are entitled whiny liberals and socialists. Why would you want to keep that? Why would anyone even want to deal with those people? Now, in the couple news stories I saw about this, I didn't see anything about, hey, we offered them relocation, we have a program, or we're giving them 6 months severance, so don't worry. If those two things are truly the case, like basically no reasonable severance package past what's, normal for that state, and no widespread open door relocation, that means, hey, remember when you tried to unionize, you overpriced New York employees? Yeah, bye. You're not welcome here. Get out of our company. Now, eBay does verification and grading. They don't do bulk sales. Like they don't do whole collections and like verifying and all that stuff. So they had to train some people in that. But like, I don't know, man. Labor is cheaper in Kentucky. And I bet you, without even looking it up, I bet the corporate income rates are way lower. You would have to try to have higher taxes than New York City. Well, the second you think you beat the man and you just beat the company that just acquired you that's trying to make a profit by unionizing successfully, you might want to start updating your resume because they're coming for you. They're just going to find a way to get you all at once. And that's what they did. Lesson learned, hopefully, ? I mean, liberals' brains don't work, so probably not. Whatever. They're probably too busy whining about Trump on Twitter. This reminds me of that clip where they were like, hey, what would you do if America went full socialist? And this like fat liberal dumbass went, I would work on my farm and do art. And everyone replying to that was like, your farm? As in like you own the farm? Guess again, sister, that ain't how that works. Are you doing art in your free time? Oh, I got news for you. Well, you reap what you sow. I mean, I always tell people there's good unions that protect people from bad companies, but bad companies are eventually going to fail, so who cares? And then there's bad unions that protect bad workers and ruin good companies that are being run properly. So it's either corporate greed or worker greed. They're both bad. A bad union is just as bad as a bad company. Here's the difference. The last place I worked was an IT job at a medical network. It was awful. I left before my contract was even up. They begged me not to leave because they were understaffed, because they were underpaying everyone. It was a crap job and it was run by morons. If we had a union, we could probably get them to stop telling us to lie about tickets and open and close them in a manipulative way so that they don't get penalties. And stop telling us to lie about our mileage. And stop paying us half time instead of time and a half for overtime on call. Which, by the way, was 24/7. But the hospital wouldn't be able to afford the difference. So then it would collapse and we'd all be out of a job. So what happened instead is I told them all, no, I'm not interested in this job anymore, bye. And then I got a different job 2 days later, and it pays $5 more per hour, and it's at a successful company that also isn't unionized. They're just successful and run by people who know what they're doing. That is what I think of unions. If the conditions are so bad, leave. Now, how many other giant, card grading and card sorting and assessment and anti-counterfeiting companies are there out there? But still, does that mean you're entitled to a job at some place that's not sustainable, that's in the wrong location, in the wrong tax area, like just everything about it is wrong? No. If somebody sees, hey, this costs 30% more than it should, you're gone. And then on top of it, you unionize and turn that into 50%, then you're gone even faster. It's just math, okay? Things don't work like they do in your deranged lefty head where you think that any money you can claw and grab away from the management is coming out of some millionaire or billionaire's pocket. In eBay's case, that might actually be true, but there's no reason to be set up the way you are and in the place you are, and with the people that work there and their attitudes and their just everything about it. You made yourself too expensive and you made yourself too problematic, to use your own term. Well, you reap what you sow, so enjoy those consequences and enjoy finding out. And enjoy looking for a new job. I'm sure you've got some great resumes. Just looking at y'all from that protest, good luck passing the drug test at your new company. Hey, maybe Into the AM is hiring. That's pretty much the same thing, right? Card collections and wardrobe design and fulfillment. What's the difference? Well, the difference is Into the AM is run by competent people. My rep is like the nicest guy. Anyway, go check it out. Support the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.